Hey gang, this is Robin, live from the Robin's Nest, and as you can see, over my shoulder, you know what time it is. Whenever you see Michael on my shirt or on my wall or in a button form, you know it's time for another Michael's Moments. And this is the 20th Michael's Moments that I have made on the Robin's Nest. And this is a continuation from the last video that I made on the whole issue about the tribute. And I want to explain something about that video. My introduction might have seemed a little off then. I always say, hi from the Robin's Nest. I don't know if I did this time. That was a video that I made in response to some comments that I made on Facebook. And I made some comments that some fans didn't like, and it just turned into a big mess, and I felt that I had to explain myself at that particular time, and I did it, and that's all I'm going to say about it, and I don't have to explain myself anymore. And anybody don't like it, like I said in the last video, be like a plate of mashed potatoes and lump it. So, with that in mind, now we're going to go on to the second part of my Michael's Moments on the tribute, and this is concerning his mom, Katherine Jackson. Okay, now lately there has been a lot of talk about Mrs. Jackson. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like what some of the fans are doing. I don't like the way they're behaving. It's not cool, and it's not right. I've said it before, and I will say it again about Michael's family. You don't have to like his family. You don't have to like every member of his family. But you could at least give him a little bit of respect and give his family a little respect, because they are the people that he knew, that he loved, and that he grew up with, and that he was surrounded by his whole life. And no matter what we might think about them, they were his. We don't own him. We never did. And that is the problem with a lot of fans. A lot of fans think that because you are a fan of a celebrity, and not just Michael, but it could be of any celebrity, of Angelina Jolie, or Kim Kardashian, or Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks, whoever. We feel as though because we're their fans that we own them, and we don't. The only people who truly own them is their family and the Lord above, and that's it. Not us. So with that in mind, I've been thinking about a lot of the things that has been said about Miss Katherine over the past, I'm going to say, year. It's gotten pretty harsh in the last year, and I want to speak on it because it's really starting to piss me off the way people are behaving. So what's been going down is a lot of people have been critical of Michael's mom because of the whole tribute, because she is supporting the tribute for her son. She feels as though it's been 2 years now. It's time for it. Let's do this. A lot of people are against the tribute, including some of her own children. Reportedly, Jermaine and Randy are not supportive of the tribute, and now it's been confirmed that Janet isn't going to perform in the tribute, and all three children believe that it wouldn't be fair to have the tribute at this particular point in time because it's going to coincide with the Conrad Murray trial, since Conrad Murray is accused of being the one who caused Michael's death. And I can truly understand that, One reporter called it being in poor taste. I think that's a very harsh choice of words, considering that this is his mother. He said that about the timing of it. The thing of it is, the trial is going to start sometime in September, and it's supposed to last 5 weeks. So when you stop and think about it, if the trial gets underway, if it's a speedy trial and everything is over and done with quickly, who's to say that the verdict won't be rendered before the concert even comes? The concert is supposed to be scheduled, I think, October 24th in Cardiff, Wales. The trial might be over by then. So if that happens, that point is moot. Then it's the whole issue of what I just said, it being at Cardiff, Wales. Now, true, I gotta admit, I've never heard of Cardiff, Wales before. I've heard of the country Wales, but I never heard of the city. I think it's quite unusual that a tribute to the biggest star on the planet in the last 30 years is having a tribute in a really, really teeny tiny small, I guess, remote village that no one has ever heard of. When it could have been held in New York, it could have been held in LA. Hey, it could have been even been held here in my hometown of Philadelphia. But for some reason, it's being done in Cardiff, Wales, and there really isn't anything that can be done about it. I guess at that particular time, that was the best choice. It was about, I guess, area and space, and that, maybe enough people from around the world can come and travel to it. Maybe. I find that a lot of the fans who are doing the most complaining, sometimes I have to wonder. I just made friends with a lady on Twitter who said that, something, those so-called fans who are complaining the most about the concert, I bet you if the concert was going to be held in America somewhere close to them, they would buy tickets. And truth be told, I think she's right. I really do. I think the main reason people are complaining, fans are complaining, is not so much of the not so much of the money and the timing of it. I think it's the location. I think a lot of them are mad that they can't be there, and they don't want to admit that. Now, as I said in my last video, it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really affect me either way, because the way I see it, I can live with the tribute and I can live without it. To me, it's going to happen either way, so I'm not protesting it. But I think that I can't get into it because I personally just don't like hearing somebody else sing Michael's songs. That's just me. I just can't, I mean, even with the 30th anniversary tribute that they did back in 2001, which occurred 10 years ago this very month. It happened September 10th, 2001, the day before 9/11. Even with the taping of that special, I didn't look at much of it because I didn't want to hear Gloria Estefan and Usher and all these other people sing Michael's songs. I mean, I know that might sound selfish of me, but I just like hearing him sing it. And when it came time for his brothers and himself to perform, I watched. So that's just me. That's why I can't get into this tribute. But the thing that's been bothering me is the way fans have been coming off with Michael's mom. And the only thing that I can say about it, and I'm sorry, but it's time for some tongue lashing and some finger pointing. How dare you? This is his mother. This is the woman who conceived him, carried him in her stomach for 9 months, went through the pain of delivery. I'm sure he was not easy to bring into this world. She had to feed him and clothe him and change his diapers and help him get an education, help him walk and talk, all that before he even moonwalked. She was the one who heard his voice in the middle of the night when he had nightmares and was afraid. She was the one who comforted him when he fell and had boo-boos. She was the one who sat and pat his head as he ate his dinner. She did those things. So, who are we to sit up there and complain and judge about her now, when she's just trying to do the very best that she can to pay tribute to her son? I'm quite sure that throughout all the love that she had for watching this amazing person grow for 50 years. I'm quite sure that there was moments in time when even he could get on her nerves, but it didn't matter. She still loved him anyway. And the thing that really gets me, the one thing that I keep bearing in mind with him and her, I don't know if this is true, but this is the report I read. I read a report that while they were waiting for the funeral, she would visit his coffin on a daily basis, and she would sit in the refrigerated area where the coffin was kept, and she would just sit by him, and she would cry, and she would say, "I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry." And she would stay there until she got cold herself. I don't know if that really happened. I don't know if that was just the imagination of a damn good writer. But either way, it spoke to me. It spoke to me about a mother's love. And that's all she's trying to do at this moment. Yes, I do have worries. Yes, I do have fears. Yes, sometimes I wonder if she's being taken advantage of. I wonder if the money men who are behind this are taking advantage of her thoughts and feelings at this particular time, because she is still vulnerable. I watched her on CNN a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks before what would have been his 53rd birthday. And I watched her speak and how she said that she was going to be supportive of this concert. And yet, at some point, when I looked at her, she looked so sad. And at one point, she looked like she was about to break down and cry. This has been so much on her. She's had so much on her back. And she has the triple burden of raising his children. And she's an elderly woman herself. So the only thing that I can say to you fans out there is cut the woman some slack. She's 80-some years old. She's taking care of little children, or I should say now children who are swiftly becoming teenagers. She's trying to do the very best that she can to get the world to remember her son for the wonderful, kind, unique, funny, and amazingly talented individual that he is. And if you have to keep saying something about her, against her, a 80-plus woman, if you have to be that rude and that disrespectful, then think about this. How would you feel if this was your mother and some unknown stranger was saying something about your mother? Things that that person don't know about your mom, and how they're coming off and judging her. How can you even think of calling yourself a fan if you disrespect the very mother of the man you claim to worship? That's not being a fan. That's being disrespectful. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I ever became a celebrity, if I ever had the good fortune of having my career take off in no matter what way, shape, fashion, or form, and if I were to find out that I had some loyal fans who all of a sudden were saying something against my mother, my flesh and blood, the woman who I came from, you can best bet believe that they are going to be taken off my fan club list. Just some food for thought, people. Don't starve. This is Robin, live on the Robin's Nest, saying, for what it's worth, peace and love always. Love you, Michael.